Hello, Soraya Bastian here, and you are watching Beyond Breath TV, the place to be to overcome your husband's infidelity and create a beautiful marriage. I receive comments and questions on my social media from women constantly asking the question, how do I know if he's cheating or still cheating on me? Well, today I want to share with you, number one, why you have been unable to find the answer to that question, and number two, what you need to do to truly know if he's being unfaithful or not. Now, I want you to know that I am sorry that you are experiencing these worries. I know from experience the pit in your stomach, the pounding of your heart, and the non-stop franticness of thoughts as they twirl and whirl around your head. Now, before I get into this deeper, I think it's important to define what cheating is. According to Merriam-Webster, cheating is defined as to break a promise made to someone, such as one's wife or husband, by having sex with someone else. But that leaves the question, what about pornography? What about massage parlors? What about sexting or having a profile on a dating site? What about the woman at work that your husband seems to be emotionally connected to? Isn't that considered cheating too? Now, I want to share with you how I define cheating. When one partner in a committed relationship is stealing energy that they have promised to one and are giving it to another. In other words, they are cheating them of what is rightfully theirs through secrets, through lies, through attention. And if energy is being used to hold these things, then they are cheating energy from their marriage. Does that feel better in a weird way? So let's get to the question. How do you know if your husband is cheating on you? Well, unfortunately, there is no way to know the answer to that question. And I bet you already knew that answer, but you're still totally confused and things just don't feel right. Because you've probably already spoken with your husband and you've mentioned that things have felt off for a while now. And you've questioned him with concern, wanting to know if everything's okay and letting him know that you have a desire to reconnect and to be close. And maybe in response, he's told you that you're making stuff up, or that you've just been really busy lately, or that work has been stressful, or the kids have just needed a lot. And maybe you know that there is no way to know that he's being unfaithful, but there's simply unease. And you've looked through his phone and social media to try to find evidence, hoping to validate the weird feelings you've been experiencing. And maybe you saw something that sent an alarm and you brought it up to him and he had a story or a reason behind it that seemed to make sense. Or maybe you were afraid to bring it up to him because he'll be mad at you for questioning him or looking through his things. Or maybe you didn't find anything and so you think that you're the crazy one and it's all in your head. So the reason you've been unable to find a concrete answer to your question and move beyond the chaos and worry of wondering if your husband is cheating on you is because you've experienced emotional trauma. Emotional trauma keeps you in a place of elevated worry, where your mind dwells on perceived difficulty and trouble. It keeps you in a place of anxiety and panic, where you can't stop thinking about the future, and with that, the end of your marriage, or what you might do if he really is cheating on you, and asking yourself if you'd stay. Emotional trauma keeps you in a place of obsession where you have to go back and look for more evidence or data to back your worry with proof. And emotional trauma keeps you in a place of disbelief where you may have found concrete evidence or have been shown in your face proof, but you still can't believe it. So you cycle through the worry and you continue to ask your husband if everything is okay, but the conversation, although over, doesn't feel complete or solid or truthful, which sends you into anxiety and panic as you visualize the future together or apart. And what will that do to your kids? And what will your family think? But you're not even sure if he's cheating. And then you're spun into the obsession part of trying to find the answer to your chaos, whether that's digging up his search history or sneaking his phone away at night, or sometimes that looks like overdoing your efforts and being the best wife and obsessing over you being good enough so that he won't need anybody else. And with whatever happens or doesn't happen through your efforts of finding evidence or being the best wife, nothing makes sense. everything just brings on more confusion and you continue to find yourself in disbelief. Is this really your life? Would he really do this to you, to your family? Are you making this up? Are you overreacting? So the reason you have been unable to find the answer to the question, how do I know if my husband is cheating on me, is because you are experiencing or have experienced emotional trauma. So what does that mean? That this is just the state of your marriage now? That you have to result in throwing the white flag of surrender to suffering in the air? That your marriage is doomed? That all of your dreams and desires are thrown out the window? No, that's not good enough. You know it and I know it. So let's talk about what you need to do to truly know if he's being unfaithful to you or not, so that you can begin to create the lasting, sustainable, beautiful marriage that you set out for when you said, I do. In order for you to find the clarity and discernment that you need to know the answer to this question, you have to do 3 things. Number 1 is clear. You have to clear the emotional trauma from your brain, your nervous system, and your body. This is where you will begin to see the truths, whether your husband is cheating on you or not. Number 2 is create. You have to create the skills or muscle memory of not getting sucked back into the trauma state. If you do, in fact, find that your husband is being unfaithful, if you get sucked back into that trauma state, confusion follows and you stay stuck in that for years, and you might already know what that feels like. And if you do find that your husband is being faithful, this is where you create a foundation for a marriage that is full of trust, connection, vulnerability, openness, and love. And then the third part is to connect. From there, you have to learn how to reconnect and build a marriage that you are both proud of. If your husband is cheating on you, there's a lot of healing that's going to need to take place. And this is important, that is the case whether you decide to stay with him or not. And if your husband isn't cheating on you, then you get to practice for the rest of your life, bettering yourselves for each other and living. You want to know what the hard part of this is? It's what I call the please God, don't let this be truth. It's when we do this healing work and we do start to see our reality. The hard part of that is that sometimes we do find that he is being unfaithful, and sometimes we realize he wasn't. Both truths can be hard to comprehend, but I promise you these truths are much better than staying stuck, sometimes for decades, behind the question, how do I know if my husband is cheating on me? Because finding the truth to this question allows you to move forward. So now it's your turn to share with me. Please comment below and answer this question. Are you ready for clarity? Are you ready to get out of the cycle of crazy? And if your answer is yes, tell me why. And be sure to head over to SorayaBastian.com and subscribe to become a Beyond Breath Insider, where you'll gain instant access to an awesome training where I share the secrets to creating a marriage full of passion, intimacy, and excitement after your husband's infidelity, as well as some exclusive content, some special giveaways, and personal updates from me that I don't share anywhere else. Thank you for joining me today. I love you. Bye-bye.